the 5th of February, 2016, Friday. My name is John Williams. I don't have any hope for black people. I don't have any hope. Maybe it's just a within the hour kind of thing. Maybe it's just for the next few hours of this very day. Maybe someone's like, well, what's the point of feeling this way and saying a statement like that? You don't have any hope for black people if it's just gonna be for the rest of the day. Well, I believe what I say. I really do. I believe what I say. What is that? What is that statement? We hold these truths to be self-evident. Isn't that that line in the preamble of the Constitution? We hold these truths to be self-evident, and then comma. We're all made equal. We're all created equal. Something like that. Well, I hold this truth to be self-evident right now. Maybe tomorrow I'll get a different view of black people and I'll somehow change and things will just spiral and all this other whatever. All the other kooky magical Disney lines. Dreams do come true, things you can think of. But I just honestly don't. The things that I know about the black community and things that I've observed, everyday things I've observed about the black community, just how failed we are. Well, excuse me, other people who look like me are. It just doesn't give me hope. And the thing is, there are just too many of those common. There are too many of the common black person running around. Too many niggas, to be honest, just running around. Yeah, I said it. And you see my face. It is not this color. It's not even this color. Okay, that one was ridiculous. I've never seen someone who's that orange. But yes, I just said that. And I am not this color. I don't have to be. Now I know, and it is only black people, to be honest, more black women who say these kinds of things to me, but to be honest, well, to point it out, if I were white, I would just be called a racist, right? Automatically. But see, since I am black people, black women, again, not black men, not many men actually speak up or say things like this to me. Maybe they think it, the very few, but it's mainly black women who say things like this. Well, you must hate yourself, or, your dad must be white, or, you just don't have enough black pride because you say things like that. No, if anything, it shows how much I actually care and notice, the things that I say about the actions I've observed and the behaviors, personality types that I've observed from most common black people. It shows that I actually care. And trying to speak up about it shows that I care. But then I realize it's kind of what's the point? Because there are just, like I said, so many of the common type of nigga. There's so many of the common type of black person, general black people running around these days who are basically hopeless. They are not going anywhere. They're running themselves into the ground. And of course, other people, other ethnicities let them, because why not? I mean, as soon as people like me, who look like me, are gone, what other ethnicities have to worry about? And I'm not just talking about white people either. Think about it. Who is it that causes the most mayhem? And maybe someone's like, oh, well, that's just what they show in the news. Of course, there's white on white crime too. Of course. People are sick and twisted and we're wicked. We can do complete vile things to one another. But really, if you just really stop and think, or get out in the world and actually look around, who is it that's causing the most scenes? Who's yelling? Causing the most fights? Violence? Shootouts? Brawls? Street brawls? I would say just get out in the world and see it for yourself. But I just noticed right now. I don't have any hope because nothing's gonna change. I mean, black people like that are just all around. I know there are people like me out there who are actually enlightened and we actually want a change. We actually want a better community, a stronger black community. Now saying what I'm saying does not mean I want to rule out black people forever. No, I just want it to be fixed. We need to wake up and get stronger already. But you see, there are so many people who look like me, with my skin color, lighter or darker or whatever, the same complexion, who are just filth. And they go out and they produce more people who are filth. And they produce more people who are filth and more filth and more filth. And maybe someone's like, why do you have to use that word? Well, it's true. There's just so much scum to the common black people, to the common black person these days. I don't see any hope. Because if there's so many more of those type of black people than there are black people like me. And I know there are higher black people actually well educated and they're enlightened and they're doing well for themselves and they're trying to put goodness into the community. But to be honest, look, when I step outside my door, I don't see the goodness of the black community. I don't see that higher up, more enlightened version or side, however you want to think of it, part of the community. I do not see that side. If anything, I don't hear about those types of good deeds or good comings being put back into the black community. I don't hear that stuff through the media. I certainly don't hear it through the news. The only thing I see and hear about through the news is one nigga shooting another nigga. That is all I hear about when it comes to black people. Or someone got robbed. Or someone shot someone because someone's baby mama, baby daddy got mad or something like that. Or this is another classic one. More teens in jail, more black men in jail. You know what I'm saying? Because of a stupid shootout, drive by. That's all about black people that I see. I don't hear often. I'm not just saying on the TV, on the news, but I'm saying on the radio and print media, newspapers, magazines, articles, such. No, I don't see anything, any representation. I'm sure there's some out there, certainly. Because there are people like me out there who actually have money and they do what they can with that money to try to build a black community and everything like that. Yeah, I know. I'm sure it happens. But see, I don't hear anything about that. And that is so rare. What I'm actually describing, that is more rare than, again, the common stuff that I see walking around the street. I see, again, just another common nigga. Male or female. Just a bunch of niggas. Filth, not making anything good of us and our people. So yeah, I've lost hope because there are more of them than there are of people like me. And another thing, since I am black, like I said, okay, if I were this color, I'd be deemed a racist automatically, but since I am not, I have people, again, black women who come up to me, usually darker than me too. And yes, that is important to mention because that also says something about the black community and the division we have over who's lighter and who's darker and what that means and who's closer to beauty standards of white people. In other words, who's better because you're closer to this color. Yeah, all right, I'm a black boy. I'm telling it all. I'm keeping it real. Anyway, if anything, because I am not white, I'll have black women again because no black man will come to me and, no, it's always black women. Always. Always has been. Some black woman will come up to me and say, why do you think this? You need to stop thinking like this. I just honestly can't. I mean, it's everywhere. I can't walk around outside without seeing, the average, common, everyday nigga. Black person. I just can't. There are more of them than there are of me. And as far as the black community, I'm also telling another truth. If you are anyone like me and you are black, with my personality type, with my education type, or whatever, with my little quirks or whatever about me, then you will be picked on by other black people, mainly other black women. Majority of the time, darker skinned black women. Because why? Because in the black community, it's a dub. That's what people say, it's a dub. Like, it's basically a shame to be smart. It's a shame to like science and to want to know more about science. It is a shame to be pretty or to be attractive. Well, this is more like on the, female side or whatever. I mean, females always kind of nit at each other about looks and everything like that. Guys can sometimes do it too, you know what I'm saying, but a little bit less. If anything, I say with guys, it comes more into play is like athletics. Who's stronger, who's bigger than the other. That's where all that nitpicking comes into play. Oh, I'm better than you. I shoot better than you. I throw farther than you. I tackle harder than you. That's more like men. But with women, it is more like nitpicky about the looks and everything like that. Whose hair is longer, especially in the black community. You cannot go anywhere. I mean, I'm telling you, if I'm around black people, they will eventually, they always get to the subject of hair. They always get to the subject of hair. Again, I know why. I know why. I know why they do it. It's ridiculous, but again, that's become a norm with black women. Yes, not black men, black women. There's so much nitpicking on who's better than who, you know what I'm saying, and why. I can't. I've lost hope. And like I was saying, if you actually want to read, if you like reading and you're black, in the black community, you are a loser. You're looked down upon. You're weird. You're going to be picked on. If you're that kid who's good at math or who wants to be a rocket scientist when you grow up, literally, or even a mechanic, an engineer, it's not a biological engineer, just neuroscientist, and you're a black kid, a black guy especially, you're going to be looked at as the weird one because it doesn't have anything to do with you're the common ones too as far as black people these days. If you are a black boy and you like to read and you like science and you want to be a neuroscientist, you will be picked on because it is considered lame to basically be smart. It is lame to be outside of these 2 to 3 norms, liking rap, wanting to be a rapper, right? Because all of us black guys got to be rappers, want to be a basketball player. I think that really came from Michael Jordan, you know what I'm saying? He really gave us our representation. That's the only name I hear about in the NBA really that has to do with black players. He's really like the evolution. Like he started it all basically. People always mention Michael Jordan when they're talking about like black basketball players or whatever. Maybe Kobe. What is that? Shaq. Anyway, so rapping, basketball player, maybe football. That's about all I can think of right now. Maybe a fourth. Maybe like a barber. You know what I'm saying? Cutting hair. That's pretty much all. If anything outside of that is close to whiteness, as black people see, as black people will compare it to. If you like science, you want to be a scientist, they say, oh, well, black people immediately point the finger at you, look down upon you, frown at you. Well, I'd say black kids growing up, you know what I'm saying? They will certainly do that, call you names, pick on you, whatever. Try to take your books, rip out the pages or whatever, any other nasty thing. Because it's really, in a way, they see that as you trying to be white, or you trying to, basically, you're getting closer and closer to that whiteness that they know that they just can't reach. And they don't like to see someone else who's black, maybe even darker than they are, and they're closer to that white supremacy than they are. If you don't believe what I'm saying, I could tell you some stories now. Now, I'm not the darkest guy around. I am not that color. I've never seen a black guy that color. I've seen a few Indians, though, that are close to that color, but, well, okay, yeah, I've seen a few Indians that are close to that color. I've seen black men that are also close to that color, too, but not like your everyday kind of person, you know what I'm saying? Like, you must really be outside. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, nothing wrong with the sun, though. Nothing wrong. No, well, I'm saying I'm not the darkest guy, but you don't have to be the darkest guy to get picked on. Because I can tell you some stories. Just the fact that, like I said, you don't have to be this color. You can be my color. You can be lighter than me, but still, if you are black, if you're considered black people, black women, really, if black women look at you as being black, and then when they see you doing things that they do not consider black enough, or adding to black culture, which really isn't much today, really, not really. Hasn't become much. Well, then you're going to get picked on, you're going to get stumped on. You are. They're going to let you know that somehow what you're doing is wrong. They will. To try to keep you down. To try to keep you down.